Styanax is a deceptive little shit. On paper, he is amazing and should be insanely strong. But in practice he is almost as bad as Dr. Fauci is at answering questions.
I respectfully decline.
How the hell is that possible? I will spare you the redundancy of why Styanax is actually bad, but if you want to know why in detail, I recommend you watch this video. There is a fix for him though. Observe. This is your base Spartan. Before you attempt building him in any way, you must manually apply a hot fix. Go from this to this. Now from this point on your Styanax will be fine no matter what you build him for. Without this setup, playing Styanax will feel like jerking off with an old and dry carpet. We will circle back to this later. Styanax is a strong supporting warframe which you can build in a number of different ways. I cannot vouch for him as a good choice for beginners and would say you should be at least intermediate before attempting to master this goober. Just being fair so you know what you are getting yourself into. The Spartan warframe is farmable from Chipper at the Drifter camp. You pay him stock in exchange for Styanax parts. To gain stock you must complete call missions. Now I will not lie to you, most Tenno hate this farm. Personally I do not mind it all that much, but it is a bit of a pain in the ass. So if you do not enjoy wiping your ass with Tabasco-laced poison ivy, then I would very much encourage you to flat out buy the suit from the market for a measly 175 platinum. Let's get into his abilities. Unlike other frames, Styanax has a good passive. He will grant you more critical chance based on how high your shields are. So modding for shields would be useful, but not an end-all be-all in the slightest. First ability. Styanax hurls a magnetic toothpick at the bad guys. This toothpick prime will pierce one enemy and drag them along until it hits a hard surface. When that happens, the spear pins the poor fella on that spot but also activates a vortex that will suck in all douchebags within range. This is pretty decent quick crowd control but does not lock down big groups for long enough to be amazing. However, it is a perfect setup for the rest of his abilities since Styanax benefits the most from crowds. To make sure you always cluster the enemies, I recommend jumping up high and cast down on your targets. This way you will always pin them on the floor right behind them and always get the cluster exactly where you expect it. That's all. No rocket science here. Next up.
Oh no!
Tharros Strike. When Styanax was a little boy, he pushed his bitter and mean old teacher down some stairs for bullying him for years. He gained so much confidence that he still shoves people around now. Anything in front of you will be pushed back and briefly staggered. For every old lady you hit with this, you gain back some health. That's not really needed since this dude naturally plays into shields anyway. However, what is very much great about this is the fact that you can completely strip all enemy defenses with this, except overguard. You will need 200% power strength to strip armor. Of course, you can use this for quick crowd control as well, but to be honest, it's kinda dumb for that. If an enemy is up in your face,
you raggedy bitch.
If an enemy is up in your face, the knockback will not even work on them. The stagger you gain from it is fine but too short to really benefit from it. You will need to play around with this to find out for yourself if this is worth your time. Overall, nothing complicated here. Let's move on. Rally Point. Funny name given the fact that no one is rallied by this ability and no rally cry can be heard either.
I called for help twice, and not a fuck you, what do you need, or nothing.
I guess there was a reason why this guy got bullied in school. Anyway, this ability draws aggro away from your teammates and onto you. Cool, but nobody cares. What is nice here is the passive energy gained when you activate this. It functions like energy siphon but on steroids. Obviously this should be on at all times. Additionally, you and your allies also gain shields for killed enemies.
Benefits are nice.
But if you think this is enough to feed your Styanax and keep him alive, then you've got another thing coming.
Son of a... Climb!
Next ability is...
Helicopter! Helicopter!
Styanax takes to the air and makes it rain javelins. These javelins deal slash damage. Remember that for later. The additional blast damage it deals is irrelevant. In fact, this entire ability is irrelevant at base and only becomes useful when you apply the fix I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Maybe you are disappointed at this point that there is not more to mention about this ability. But hey, I did not design the sky. It is what it is. So now let's go over the build and playstyle. First things first, Intrepid Stand. This augment is mandatory and non-negotiable. It makes that the barrage of spaghetti noodles from your form grant you and allies overguard. Not a lot, but it's better than nothing. Secondly, Arcane Truculence. This arcane makes it so whenever you gain 3000 overguard, you'll emit a viral burst that is inflicted upon everything within range. These two are codependent and cannot exist without the other, which pisses me off. Using only either of the two will break the build and ruin Styanax as a warframe for you. So best you just accept it. Now moments ago I mentioned slash damage from the fourth ability, right? Well, slash combined with viral is a love story made in heaven. Unlike Wukong's inexplicable butthole, this combo alone single-handedly makes Styanax 4 even worth considering, and on top of that makes his overall playstyle actually entertaining and fairly versatile. As mentioned before, as long as you use these two things in your build, the rest will be entirely up to you. However, I would say that I have successfully built the sweet spot here for Styanax. Brief Respite, Redirection, Adaptation and Auger Reach play into his shield defense and his passive, which will be your main way of staying alive as long as you actually use his abilities. Do not be confused about the rank 2 Auger Reach. I did not bother adding more than one forma because Styanax can go to hell. Equilibrium and a companion that helps you drop orbs, such as the Death Cube, is a very good but almost necessary to maintain your energy needs. Styanax is a very greedy warframe. Blind Rage and Molt augmented for the guaranteed armor strip from the second ability, and continuity for more javelins on his 4, but also because 3 will last longer and thus give you more energy. This is probably the best budget-friendly build you will find that utilizes all that Styanax offers and at the same time allows you to play him however you wish. As for playstyle, with this guy, you will want to stay on the move. Keep your 3 active at all times, and create clusters with your first ability often. And always cast your ultimate on large groups or clusters of enemies to always gain overguard. A note on Styanax that is a little unusual. He spends a lot of time in the air. You can take advantage of this however you decide. For example, transitioning from your 4th ability straight into a slam attack to finish off groups. Or using AoE weapons to hit large clusters and so on. Just keep that in mind and feel free to experiment. Now then, that's all you need to know about Styanax to be decent. With this, you will easily take on everything in the game. And you do not need any shards, or helmet hocus pocus or specifics to run this build. I will push this guy to the limit in another video and really go all out. Until then, like and subscribe or else Nightmare Frame will steal your cookies. Okay?
You motherfucker!
Okay, now go away.